Good morning. Well, this is appropriately named How I Go Live with the news and trading without any preparation. So, right now I'm looking at my screen and I'm not very experienced with live, but let's see here. We're doing a few checks here, so you might need to fast forward. We did have a crash that killed 2 at LaGuardia Airport. I am a semi-retired pilot, and that bugs me. Air Canada Express. I'm going to guess that's the CRJ or the Airbus 200, but I don't know yet. And that's pretty sad. LaGuardia is closed and Newark is closed because of a separate incident. Crazy stuff. Because of a separate incident. Crazy stuff. Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm sharing a screen yet. Again, fast forward to where the content is. Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm sharing a screen yet. Again, fast forward. Let's figure this out. All right. Share the screen. This is why I don't go live very often. But I figure I better do it just to practice. But good morning. And again, go ahead and fast forward or, click on the transport, I think is what we used to call it. But click on the line and go forward, a couple minutes to see. Oh, wait, we're sharing. Good. All right. So we're in oil right now. And of course, Trump announced today that let's just check the volume. Oil right now. And of course, Trump announced today that I know you're going to hear that for a second. Just checking. That's around 12. I know you're going to hear that for a second. All right. Just checking. Okay, we're back. You shouldn't hear that echo now. All righty. So oil is taking a tumble, and yeah, it seems it's not a good place to be with Trump just all over the frickin' place. 48 hours. Gonna bomb Iran. Oil infrastructure, major infrastructure, if they don't open the Strait of Hormuz within 48 hours. And of course, we make our we make our trades based on his information. Then all of a sudden this morning, when we can't do anything about it over the weekend, it's 5 days now. We're making talks. So what's it going to be tomorrow? And of course, damn well they're doing their rich people conversation. Hey, I'm going to do this. And then they all know and they can make out. But we don't get crap for information. And this is illegal somehow. So share this tab. There we go. We did make one little trade this morning at 6:35. We traded Ambitions. They're up 66%, and that's about when I bought it, I think. Actually, I'm up a little bit, maybe. Let's go to their chart. There it is. If you haven't gone live with YouTube before, you can't just flip from tab to tab. You have to share the tabs as you go. So we bought somewhere around right there, of course, which is typical, and then it goes down and then back up. Okay, so we're up a little bit. Let's take a peek. Looks like we're up about 10 cents. We're not trading a lot. We're just basically, on this particular stock, we're not trading it a lot right now, just a little, just so I can get used to that 6:35 a.m. purchase trade protocol. Actually, we're down 2% on that. Okay, back to the markets. We do have an upward slope here, though, so we're going to hang in there with our small trade. We did just buy some Bitcoin and some Solana because it was starting to take off. Did we share that page? Yeah, we did. Okay. Now we're going to go to the Bitcoin heat map. All right, where are we? Bitcoin heat map. Bear with me, folks. I'm looking for the heat map thing for Bitcoin. Oh, there we go. Okay. And there we are. Okay, so this is, it looks like Bookmap. I'm not sure, but it's on YouTube. And it looks like we're up to, boy, that's hard to read. Right here, 71.5. Okay, so it settled down. It was starting to rise quickly, and I thought I better get in on it. We're going to do a volume check, so you're going to hear it echo for a second here. We're going to do a volume check, so you're going to hear it echo for a second here. Seems to be okay. We're going to do a volume check, so you're going to hear it echo for a second here. Seems to be okay. All right. So that is blurry. So it's blurry on YouTube. But basically, we're at 71.5. There's a lot of liquidity up at 71.9. And just below, it looks like the price is going to get pushed up. But if we go to let's go to there it is, way down there. Liquidation heat map. I'll share this as soon as I find it. Liquidation map, that's what we want. Now we got to share the chart. This is why you want to get up early and prepare. But again, fast forward. All right, we're going to share this page now. We're going to go to the liquidation map, but let's take a look at some of the markets here. So gold is down 0.5%. US dollar index is down 0.5%. Bitcoin dominance is up 0.5%. Bitcoin exchange balance, I'm not quite sure what that is. Fear and greed is at 9. I believe that's for crypto. And we're coming back here to take a look at just the markets right now. So NASDAQ is up 2%, Dow 2%, S&P 500 2%. And that's all on news that Trump has tacoed out again. Went from 48 hours. Of course, I bought some oil on Friday, which was stupid because, you know, Trump's going to do some crap over the weekend. And he did the 48-hour thing. We're going to bomb you, all your oil infrastructure in Iran, unless you open the Strait of Hormuz in 48 hours. And then Monday morning, he changes it to 5. And of course, you know damn well they're doing their trading before he announces it. When I say they, all the Trump insiders. And they make a lot of money, and I lose because I'm stuck in that trade where I'm thinking oil's going to go up. And in that trade, let's see. So I traded this ProShares K1 free crude oil. And of course, I bought up here. And then the announcement from our commander-in-chief. And it's down here now, which was about an 8% drop, if I believe correctly. Let's see. Well, from when I bought it. And if you just look at Brent, which is what we hear on the news, it's come down from above $100 a barrel down to $97 a barrel. It's at the top of the RSI, so it looks like it's overbought. Volume's not huge. I'm thinking of dumping it. But, yeah, I mean, if they come to a deal, then it's just going to come down and stay down. But with Trump, you never know what the hell to do. Unless you're in his inside circle and become a billionaire overnight. So back to Bitcoin. Oh, let's see, back to Bitcoin. 71570 716. The big map. Excuse me, book map. Yeah, it is book map. We can't zoom into that. We still don't have any viewers at this point. So again, fast forward. Well, fast forward. Disregard that. I said that at the beginning of the video. So we're going to go to the news now. So 2 pilots killed as plane and fire rescue truck collide at LaGuardia. 2 pilots killed and dozens of people were injured at New York's LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night when an arriving Air Canada Express plane and a fire and rescue vehicle collided on the runway, officials said. The Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which runs the airport, said in a statement that the pilot, co-pilot were killed in the collision and 41 people were taken to the hospital. 39 from the aircraft and 2 Port Authority aircraft rescue and firefighting officers from the truck. So it looks like the firefighters were killed and the 2 pilots. Many injuries on the airplane. I mean, look at that picture. Where's the picture? Wow. Yeah, the front of the cockpit looks like it's just gone. Wow, look at this. That looks like a CRJ 800 or so. A Canadian Bombardier. That's the kind that has 2 seats to the left, 2 seats to the right, and you've probably been on one. In the U.S., they have regional carriers have been using those. I used to fly the 175, ERJ 175 with United Express, and that was 3 on one side and 2 on the other side. See, 3 seats left, 2 seats right, or vice versa. Looks like the price of Bitcoin 71,480 slumping. I think the price is going to come down though. All right, we're going to catch. Sorry, I haven't been sharing the screen I've been looking at here. All right, we're going to go to liquidation map. This is on the 1 day. On the 1 day, we got a lot of longs, so I expect the price to be pushed down. I'm not expecting it to go up. So I went against my thoughts here, and I purchased because I panicked and saw the price going up. But I believe the price is going to get pushed down to liquidate all these high leverage longs. The shorts are nothing compared to the longs right now. Looks like we got, that's on Binance. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin one, or the Bitcoin exchange map. So we got 500 million in shorts and 2.6 billion in longs, about a 5-to-1 ratio. So I see the price coming down to easily 69,000, possibly 65. We're going to go back to the heat map. Live book map plus liquidation heat map. Sorry, it's blurry. It's just blurry on YouTube. Okay, so 71,480. There is a lot of liquidity down here at 71,350 and up at 71,600. Actually, 71,600 just disappeared. There it is. Okay. If you're not familiar with Bookmap, go to bookmap.com. You have to sign up and subscribe to get you kind of pay per stock or per commodity. I'm not quite sure what the structure is, but it's nice on YouTube. You've got this free live book map. We'll go ahead and put that in the description for you. Our condolences to the family of the two pilots, by the way. And those, I think the fire rescue people were injured, not killed. I hope that's the case, but for all those injured, seriously injured, condolences out to them, their families. And it looks like Bitcoin's slumping down to 713 now. Or excuse me, 71.3. Well, I think it's time to dollar cost average into Bitcoin anyway. Maybe not a lot right now, but I'd say the consensus is that everyone's waiting for it to come down more, although there are several bulls from this point. I don't know if it's a 50-50 split on those saying it's going up versus those saying it's going down in the next few months. But I think overall consensus is that it's going to go down, not overall, but the majority is that it's going to go down, down to the 50s, possibly even lower. until October, and that's when it'll start going up. But according to Steve, the influencer, it will bottom out March, April, or May, and you got to get in because it's going to pop from there. Aaron Dishner, I think it is. I really like his commentary. He's on the fence, but overall trend is down, and so his thesis is that it is going to go down further, but he is on the fence. And with these macro events, it's so hard to know what's going to happen. What I mean is Trump. The macro fits of Trump. So even though we're down, Bitcoin and Solana, I think it's time to start dollar cost averaging and, 20% chunks. People don't really talk much about dollar cost averaging generally as to specifically what to do. And I've pretty much boiled it down to, if you're completely out and you want to get in, start doing 20% chunks when you think you might be near the bottom. And that's what I think. And the next 20% chunk I do is when we're back into the mid 60s or so. I would have done one over the weekend, but Trump made the price go up because of his insider trading tactics. Freedom of speech is still alive. I can say that, right? Well, I don't know anything. It's just what I think. Not to mention Congress's insider trading, and who in Congress knows what Trump's going to do. In other words, who's on the inside with Trump's information? Nobody's left to do any insider trading investigation. I think he's fired everybody. And holding steady at 71.3 right now with Bitcoin. I want to go back to that story. We're going to go to a Canadian CTV News report. So it looks like so far, but the two pilots are the only ones that got killed. Oh, what is this? No, we don't want to watch it. Okay, an Air Canada jet carrying 72 people touched down and slammed into a fire truck on a runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport late Sunday night, killing its two pilots and injuring many more. I wonder if this was ATC, controller error, pilot error, or fire truck error. Catherine Garcia, executive director of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, which runs the airport, said all who were on the plane, 72 passengers and 4 crew, have been accounted for. The 4 crew would be flight attendants and possibly a third pilot. Sadly, the 2 pilots are confirmed deceased and notifications are being made by Air Canada's care team at this time, Garcia told a news conference in the pre-dawn hours of Monday. She added both were based out of Canada. Well, that really narrows it down. I would guess Toronto. Garcia said 41 people were taken to 2 hospitals in Queens. Okay. Oh, okay. So this was Jazz Aviation. I haven't heard of them in a while. And the flight was designated AC 8646. One air traffic control could be heard on a radio transmission giving clearance to a vehicle to cross part of the tarmac, then trying to stop it. So it sounds like possibly bad training on the ground crew in the fire truck. Stop, truck 1. Stop, the transmission says. The controller can then be heard frantically diverting incoming traffic from landing. Holy moly. Let's listen to that.
"10 kilometers per hour when it made contact with the truck." And we have audio now from air traffic control at the moment. 210. According to Flight Radar 24, the aircraft was going about 210 kilometers per hour when it made contact with the truck. And we have audio now from air traffic control at the moment right before the crash.
Truck 1 and Company, LaGuardia Tower, requesting to cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, cross 4 at Delta.
Truck 1 and Company, crossing 4 at Delta.
Stop, Truck 1. Stop. Stop, Truck 1. Stop.
You can hear the operators trying to stop the truck after clearing it to cross the runway to attend to that other aircraft. The National Transportation Safety Board is now investigating. We're going to show you now a live look this morning at LaGuardia.
Okay. Again, I think they were saying LaGuardia and Newark were closed, but Newark is closed for a different reason. Let's take a look at West Texas crude oil. And of course, the reason we're looking at oil is it's going down. That's why the stock market and Bitcoin are going up. So West Texas crude is starting to climb off its low. I don't think it was above $100 ever, was it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. No, it was at 98. Whereas Brent is the one that we know was $100 a barrel, over $100 a barrel on Friday. Yep. It's recovering a little bit of an upward trend there. Pretty big volume now pushing it down. It's at the top of the RSI here. looks like you can't see my mouse. Volume is picking up. Yeah, you can see the mouse, but it's much smaller on the TV than it is on my computer. I think we're going to hang in there on the oil trade instead of selling at a loss. Just pay attention to it today. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin trading view map, or excuse me, chart. RSI is up at the top. Volume is pretty low. We do have a little bit of a green candle going, 71.4. And we are going to take a look at the liquidation map again. And it's on the 1 day. It looks like it's going to be real easy to push the price down to liquidate. Well, I don't know if it's going to be easy, but that's what the intent of the market makers, that's the intent of the market makers, push it down to liquidate these huge leveraged longs. And again, it looks like about 5 to 1. That's on the 1 day, but on the 7 day, we got the shorts about 30% more than the longs, which means we could have a price increase over the next 7 days. And they're pretty close to equal on the 30-day, which I believe means it's kind of like a look into the future as to what's going to be happening. Let's take a look at Solana. More longs than shorts on the 30 days, so it looks like the price will be leaning toward going down to liquidate the leveraged longs. Over the 7 day, more of a price increase tendency to liquidate the shorts. On the 1 day, for today, looks like the price will be going down to liquidate the leveraged longs. Pretty close to what Bitcoin looks like. Yeah, we're going back to the news now. Trump says very good Iran talks hints at total resolution. That's going to kill the price of oil and raise the stock market and cryptos. For how long, who knows? But I'll probably end up dumping that oil, cut my losses. Yeah, here in the Northwest, we had a couple of landslides over the weekend, closing I-5 between Bellingham and Skagit County on the northbound lanes. I got to remember to go from the Discover tab to the News tab. So, LaGuardia. I cannot believe that they're closing LaGuardia completely right now. Oh, just until 2 p.m. Oh, 2 p.m. Yeah, today. I heard that Newark was closed too. The crash happened last night at 11:47 Eastern Time. Let's see if Newark is closed. Newark, this is 2 hours ago. Newark Airport's control tower evacuated. Due to smoke in the air traffic control tower, just hours after the deadly LaGuardia crash. How long are they going to have that closed? This story is a couple hours old. Here's a 1 hour ago story about Newark. The ground stop was lifted about 30 the incident was reported. Yeah, I think Newark's open. Alrighty. Whoops. Bitcoin price slumping 71.2. Which is what I expected for today due to the 5-to-1 longs that need to be liquidated from the market maker's perspective. And it looks like oil is recovering a little bit. So the low this morning looks like it was around $96 a barrel, and we're up to $98 a barrel. Some pretty big volume. Let's take a look at the biggest gainers again. Boy, we have one that's up 150% today, PTLE. Let's take a look at the overview. The news on PTLE. Well, there's no new news. That's February 24th. nothing. So we don't know why PTLE is trading at a higher price of 150%. Let's take a look at the chart. So this just happened. Let's see what time. That was at the open. Looks like. Yeah, at the open. Man, it's gone up from $4 a share to $11 a share, and looks like it's got some decent volume still. RSI is heading down though, overpriced. So we'll take a look at this in a few minutes. Oops, I'm sorry, folks. I haven't been sharing the tab. That's why I hate live. You got to click an extra button to share the tab every time. With this candle, I think the price is just going to settle down here for a little bit, possibly transition to a downtrend. Again, this is PTLE. And I don't know if I shared this at the time, but we're looking at PTLE as one of the top gainers, the top gainer, 150% up. This is only a $26 million market cap company. So I bet that spread is huge. PTLE. No, there's no spread. $10.69 to buy and sell. Otherwise, up 50% today. BIAF. They're only an $18 million company. Six-day ago news. Why did it surge 6 days ago? 40%. Tested CyPath lung on a 71-year-old former smoker with multiple lung nodules. So they tested it. Was it a good outcome? Here's the catalyst, I think. Follow-up CT scans showed that the suspicious nodules had resolved, confirming they were likely due to inflammation rather than cancer. That doesn't sound conclusive to me. On March 13, shares closed 98% higher after the company reported an 87% increase in full-year revenue from CyPath lung, with test volumes rising. I forgot to, sorry. So I'm not seeing anything conclusive as to why it's up. Okay, let's take a look at the chart. Wow, look at that volume. Our size taking a turn up. Not a bad spread. Sure would have been nice to get in around here. We got volume gradually decreasing here. We're going to go ahead and jump in on it. We trade on E-Trade because of the extremely low commissions. We also buy our Bitcoin there with ARC-B and Solana with SSK ETFs. BIAF, Bioaffinity Technologies. And we'll just I like that volume. Again, the spread, 1 cent. Amazing. The spread over here. Sell at this price, buy at this price. Okay. And of course, the second I buy, we get a red candle. Yep. Sold at 414. No, we bought at 414. Oh, it didn't sell. Yeah, it did. No, we sold at 414. No, we bought it. Okay. Executed orders. It was not executed. I'm doing this on my cell phone. I find it easier to do trades on my cell phone. All right, there's BIAF. We still have it. Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, it says I don't have it. I'm having a problem here. Open orders. I still have it. We got a green candle. Okay, well, the RSI is down here, which we anticipate is going to come up, bringing the price. We got some decent volume, turning green. Candle looks undecisive there. We're hanging in there before we sell. We raised the price of our sell order. We bought at 414. It's down to 409. Up to 416 now. Candle's getting shorter. It says 413 now. Again, this is why we're hanging in there right there. Says it's underbought. A little bit of green volume. Volume's going up. It's a higher. In this little sequence, we got a higher high and a higher low. Just for fun, we're going to take a look at the 45-minute candles. $2.24 at the low over the past few days, and we're up to double that, more than double that over the past few days. So we're about 100% up or more over the past few days. Back to the 1 minute chart. Looks like a delay because on my cell phone it says $4.07 on the bid. This one's showing 414. Says I just sold at a 1 penny loss, which is okay with me because that's 100 times a penny. That means I lost $1. Okay. But, you know, there's some hope for it, but I'm going to stay out of it. That was just me learning how to trade the biggest gainers. So we're out of that. Please write in the comments what you might be trading right now. And In fact, let me see if I have any comments from anyone. Nobody here. It's lonely here. No comments. Coming back to BTC now. It got up to 71.6. And now it's slumped back down to 71.3. Take a look at the heat map. 71.2, liquidity down at 71.1, and just below 71.2, and up at 71.325. A lot of liquidity up here at 72,000 and down at 71,000. Boy, that arrow on the TV, on the live YouTube is very small. I made it, it's about 200% bigger on my screen. Right now, the Dow is up 2%, 2.5%. S&P 500, 2.2. Oil down around 20%. That's Batillion oil specifically. It says it's dropping fast. NASDAQ, I'm going to dump that oil. Let's take a look at West Texas crude right now. It's not dropping fast. West Texas crude. All right. Brent is at about 98.6 and actually on its way up. And this is the one that I have, OILK, ProShares Free Crude Oil ETF. These are 1 minute candles I've selected, but we zoom in on the time. I guess those are 1 minute candles. There's 6:50 a.m. and there's 6:55. And there's about 4 or 5 candles in there. We're at the top of the RSI, so we could be topping out here in the rise of crude. Not seeing any movement yet. Wait a minute, 6:55. How old is that? It's 8:20 here. 8:20. $6.57. That is crazy. Holy moly, that chart was not refreshing. Yeah. So we had a big drop there. RSI is on its way up. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. We had the right number of candles for 1 minute candles, but it was not updating. Man, it takes discipline to check and make sure your charts are updating when you're switching from chart to chart. So we said we were going to dump this, but seems to be in a little bit of a recovery there. I am looking at the E-Trade here and thinking about selling OILK. We bought some at $52 a share, and we bought more at around 52. Look at that spread, 12 cents. Not good. Actually, it's at 52.05 right now to sell. So what did we buy at? 52.82. Yeah, so it looks like we bought about 1.5% higher. And that was Friday. So we definitely have a downward trend here. Volume is real small. Yeah, we're going to sell right now. Just before it drops some more. So we lost about only $35 on the trade. Thank you, Trump. We'll attribute that to you. The losing of money, because on Friday it looked like nothing was going to solve this oil thing. All the stories I saw, it's going to drag out. Price is going to get up to $150, $200 a barrel for Brent. And then he comes out over the weekend when we can't do anything about buying and selling, and says 48 hours, we're going to bomb you. And then they negotiated, and now there's 5 days before he's going to bomb them. That made the price of oil go down, the markets go up. So why don't you call me, Trump, before you do shit like that? Wouldn't that be nice? Pardon the expletive. How do I get on that call list? I guess I have to be a billionaire already. Or a relative, other than Mary Trump. Okay, so we're out of that trade. Let's go back to, let's see if the liquidation of the longs on Bitcoin is playing out. Yep, it looks like it. And of course, today I bought up here, but then that's me dollar cost averaging. I bought Bitcoin and Solana up here. And that was a new entry into Bitcoin. I sold it all at one point. Still had some Solana left, but it's down. And we bought somewhere around right here when Bitcoin was at 71.5. Well, I think we're going to end this today. Thank you for your patience joining us with this live trade and news session. Trading and news session. Before we go, we got RSI climbing, but not much volume. So maybe we'll start to consolidate around 71,000, excuse me. But like I say, I expect the price to come down to at least what do we got here? Oh, this is Sol. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Share this tab. Okay, back to Bitcoin. So I expect us to get down to at least 69.3, if not all the way down to 66.9, 67,000 to liquidate these leveraged longs. Not much pressure to go up here right now, but again, over the next 7 days, it looks like there is pressure to go up again. So if we just hang on, we should recover over the next 7 days our little loss this morning on Bitcoin. Well, we didn't get anyone join us that I can see, so maybe we'll see you after we've ended the live stream. And again, fast forward until you see some activity that you want to watch, because we're just getting set up live in the beginning, and just kind of fast forward until we get going. Thank you. Please subscribe.